Hey, what's up, everybody? Continue drawing here. It's Talon commission. Got stuff to do. Hey, what's up? Talon. It's from Batman. Court of the Owls. Yeah, you should definitely read the comic. It's quite good. I recommend the original Court of the Owls book from Capullo and Snyder. Scott Snyder. Hey, what's up? Later. Do I scan it and reuse it for other works? I scan it so I have a backup before I color it, just in case something goes horribly wrong. Oh yeah, always save a step. Scan it. Even at the very least, take a decent photograph. What up, Brandon?
Hello, everyone. How goes it?
Just inking this. Really drawing it with the inks. I think for this stuff, I should do a cleanup pass digitally, and then just with this nib, it's easier to trace than it is to figure the drawing out.
Gotcha.
When
Very cool.
When I use the Copic multiliners, it's easier for me to work the drawing out. So the Wolverine, I did that extra step digitally. And this one, I'm just kind of going right over my super rough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So... Did you go see Justice League yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go for you?
I liked it.
Shocking.
Let's put it this way, without going into detail, because I know we will on the when we do an actual cast. Were some of the special effects bad for the most part? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Listen, I know there's. I'm not gonna nitpick. Like,
come on, let's be honest, right?
CGI,
Some of those visual effects are Catwoman bad, bro.
No, they were bad special effects.
They're 20 years bad. Like
right, but was the movie fun? Did I enjoy it? Yeah.
Well, great, but I just heard a million. Hold on, I just heard a million complaints about people saying, "Well, Thor's just you just keep saying it's fun. It's just fun. It's just fun. It's just fun." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was fun." I just think Brandon, it's not a giant colossal clusterfuck, but it's the biggest missed opportunity since the prequels.
Right. No, it could have been better. I mean, I give it like, let's just say out of a 10, probably like a 6.8, just off the fact that.
And that's Brandon being super nice.
I mean, like, as for to give an example of my normal Deadpool, I'd give a 9. You know what I mean? That's an all-around movie where I have nothing to complain about. The new Thor movie, probably like a 8.5, 9. It's just all around good. There's nothing bad about it. This one, there's shit fucked up and the special effects were shitty, but I still enjoyed. I wasn't like there's a point where I was like, oh, this is
at the very least it should have been pushed back till summer.
Yeah, it.
Come on, I seen the CGI face, bro. I've seen it.
But you don't. I mean, you don't notice it that much in the movie.
Oh, yes, you do.
I disagree.
Oh yeah, Brandon. If it didn't have Batman and Wonder Woman in it, if that shit was the Inhumans or something that you just didn't care as much about,
correct?
Right? You'd be like, it's bad. Oh my god,
But Batman was in it, so my love of Batman gives it the extra boost, and the Flash was dope. I liked him. I was fine with it. It was a good, fun time. It wasn't like I hated it, so.
Yeah, but for someone like you to give it a 6, that's proof.
I'll bump it up to a 7,
no,
sir.
Sorry, 6.5. I
said 6.8. That's what I said. Which is good.
Because scenes don't make a movie. That's why. And they were part of something else larger that was probably a serious fucking drain on the film. Look, I submit to you guys, if you want to go see what Zack Snyder can do with a script when no one's fucking checking him, go watch Sucker Punch. Right? Gorgeous film, right? Tons of really cool scenes, right? Incomprehensible fucking story. For something that seems so simple.
Right.
Should just be girls breaking out of a mental asylum, and each one's from their point of view, and each one sees some crazy different reality. Like, it really just didn't have to be that much complicated than that,
Right.
And what did it turn into? Chicks on stage? Fucking weird, dude. That's what it is. God. Strange. It was like a Trapper Keeper from the 80s with the rose and the unicorn, and the prism, and you're just like, I just get the Transformers one. I get that, It's like a point. Weird symbolism and shit.
What's the symbolism?
Symbolism is my wallet's fucking empty. I spent $20 a ticket to go see fucking Justice League.
We saw it at matinee, so it was only $10 per ticket, so that was good.
Right. If you had dropped $40 on that movie, you'd probably be a little more pissed.
I enjoyed it.
Brennan's afraid I'm going to start making sense and whatever.
Yeah, I don't want
he
sense.
had at the end of the film I'm going to take away from.
Yeah,
just like that Turtles movie. Been waiting for a Justice League film since 2006, man. 2005, 2006, around there. My wife's been hearing about it since almost the first day we met. You know? The weekend it came out, I didn't go see it. She couldn't believe it. Total reversal, you know? Crossing the streams. Total protonic reversal. They're up a shit creek, Warner. Like, when you think about it, like if Wonder Woman had been a critical and financial failure, they could just reboot the whole fucking thing with Aquaman, you know, start over.
Right.
Whatever. But that movie did really well, you know, and it's winning awards, and they're fucked.
It reminded me, okay, so it reminded me of the Justice League cartoon, and I like the Justice League cartoon. So,
you know why? Because half of the movie was animated.
I stick to my 6.8.
Uh-huh.
If Batman wasn't in it,
with 2001 levels of CG animation.
If Batman wasn't in it, it'd probably be like a 5. Batman.
Not all things with Batman in it make it better, bro. Batman, you know, Batman and Robin, dude. Batman Forever, you know.
No. I'm talking new Batman. I like.
He didn't make Suicide Squad any better.
The scene was cool.
It's like, yeah, okay, Darth Maul's scene was cool, but so what?
It was. The fight scene was dope. It was fun, Rob.
Yeah, well, it got a B minus or whatever, or B. What is it? It got a B plus cinema score. And you go, B plus is pretty good. No, bro. 50 Shades Darker got a B plus. And those are people walking right out the theater. I've done that shit before, where they ask you, "What'd you think?" No. Would you like to take a, you know, that shit. So, I mean, it's not the worst. Mother got an F cinema score, so you know.
I mean, it's just
missed opportunity, bro.
It was you. I mean, there's like, how do I put this? Let's reverse this. What if Joss Whedon directed it from start, okay, and
wrote the script,
but had, and I don't know if this would work, but in my mind, I'm just gonna say Zack Snyder as the cinema.
Fuck, you know what? Fuck the cinematography for a second. All right, I get you want to see that look. Okay, I get it.
Yes,
it's not important. It's not important.
It's not. But I like
really is, because you would have gotten other scenes that were equally as cool, scenes you would have never seen before. Like, I don't know, Brennan, like him doing actual detective work in the cave and shit. You know, you may have seen what it was like for him to actually like work on. I don't, you know, you'd be getting the biggest fucking problem is they're very well cast films.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jeremy Irons is Alfred, and the way he banters with Bruce, it's like, and Ben Affleck, it's great.
Good. So
yeah.
good.
Yeah, you're never going to get any more of it. You know?
Meh.
No, no, that's done. No, maybe. That's all over, Brandon.
What about in the Batman movie, the Solo?
It's not gonna be there. It's gonna be a complete reboot of Batman. You'll see.
Breaks my heart.
No, let it go. Right now, some guy in there who felt like this could have been way better is watching the movie, and one day that person, he or she, it could be a she, he or she's watching the film, they're knowing what could have been better. One day they'll run Warner's and fix it. You know? But the current regime over there does not understand. They just see the numbers on the superhero movies and they say, "Oh, we own this shit. We can do that too." And we've always done it. We led the way. And I'm like, "Oh, chill out, Catwoman." Remember when you guys made that Catwoman movie? Don't tell me about they led the way. They got real lucky. That magic combination. They didn't want Tim Burton either, dude. Like, then they gave Tim Burton free reign, and then he went and fucked it up. So, it's just gonna take vision.
I still liked it.
Yeah. Well, didn't even break 100 million. How crazy is that?
The characters got good chemistry, and I don't know how much you want me to
Didn't
talk
break
about.
100 million. Oh, we could talk about it 100 fucking ways, dude. Like,
All right.
I mean, this is a conversation that it's just a giant lesson in Hollywood. Like, I don't like seeing shit fail. Don't get me wrong. Thousands of people worked on this, But this is a top-down leadership problem, as far as I'm concerned. This isn't Joss Whedon's fault. It's not even Zack Snyder's fault. When they had the problems with BVS, and they still managed to walk out with making money, right? Okay, look at BVS opened up to 160 million, and then stopped. When that thing didn't cross $1 billion, and it should have pretty easily, they should have been like, okay, this guy we gotta chill out on this Justice League ship. Let's go back to a Superman movie. Let's get back. You know what I mean? They should have altered. Brought in some people, brought in Joss, whatever. Got us some consultation. Get Jeff Johns, because Jeff Johns was very vocal about what should have and shouldn't have worked in that film, and they ignored him. But they don't see things that way, dude. And there's lots of reasons for it. Hubris, is one of them. The fact that they get intellectual property rights on different versions of things that they create, so they get royalty checks based on other things too. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff, And when they decided to just roll forward with the plan, we're still going to shoot. Only now we're just going to do one Justice. Remember, they were shooting 1 and 2 initially back to back. They were shooting them twice at the same. You got to remember that one. Then it was we're going to shoot the one, and then Zack Snyder's daughter. That horrific fucking story happened, and for whatever reason, if it's only because of that, or if they decided to back out, part ways, try to fix it. At that point, they should have moved the movie to next summer. Just because, look, when you can't get your main lead to be able to shave his fucking mustache, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, look, perhaps things aren't moving the way you want them to. You start over and you redraw the thing, Brandon. You see what I'm saying? You go, this digital brush ain't working. I gotta stop what I'm doing, print the fucking thing out, and start over. That's the lesson to be learned. But we live in this weird era now where everyone wants to, they need confirmation the way I felt I needed confirmation from fans and shit back in the mid-90s with like Nintendo. When everyone didn't love Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
When my friends were like, oh, I don't really, it's blurry, it's kitty, I got my PlayStation. I was like, you don't understand. Like, I was that guy. I worked at a toy store. You don't understand. And here's how it does all these great things. And I was like, until finally, one day I realized it was when Final Fantasy VII came out. I'm like, that system can't make this game. It can't do, just because of the carts alone. It can't play the sound because it has no sound chip. It can play all these cool tracks, and it doesn't have enough room on the ROMs to hold all these fucking cool assets, and I could never play. And then I played Final Fantasy Tactics, and then it taught me a good personal lesson about fandom. Right? I love it, but so what? The thing I love can also be extremely flawed. You know, and sometimes flawed to its advantage, and sometimes flawed to its detriment. You know,
Right.
and Justice League is just one of those things where they pull out just enough to go, all right. But I guarantee you, if they hadn't even done that, much different. Let me tell you, right, this is
Right.
when they killed Jimmy Olsen, BVS, and you didn't, even, you know what I mean? Like really, this is how they introduce and kill. Like, what is what? Something was up when the movie opened up with Batman flying. Oh, like, does they know Batman doesn't fly? Well, it's a dream. Yeah, but is that really what we're? Did anyone want to see that? It wasn't a good thing too. It was a kid levitating. It's a bad Magneto effect from X Men 1. They just put him up on wires and let him hang there, and you're like, it looks stupid. So you know, and the Justice League cartoon is vastly inferior to both Batman Beyond, The Adventures of Superman, and Batman the Animated Series. It's vastly inferior. It's just a bunch of fights with characters you like showing up to join in the fight. That's it. Couple of nifty character moments lifted from the Grant Morrison JLA reboot that happened a few years before, like Martian Manhunter kicking back, watching X Files and listening to Coast and conspiracy shit while he's on the watchtower because he's bored and shit got nothing to do. Other than that, it's just a bunch of fights, man. It was a hollow cartoon. And I left it and watched Samurai Jack. All my comic book friends thought I was fucking dumb. How can you do that? I'm like, it's just not, it doesn't have the depth, dude. I need the depth. I expect a little more. But that's me. I'm not gonna go and fucking say, you fucking suck, Brandon. You like it. Like, no, look, you enjoyed it. But what is the lesson we can all take away here as creators? You know? Don't just rush something out the door to get it done,
Yeah,
bro.
it's not ready. Yeah, I was not ready to go back fix it.
Yeah. And people can complain and bitch about how Kathleen Kennedy didn't let the fucking the Lego guys make the Han Solo movie. But you know what? They went in that editing room. They put all the scenes that look cool individually together, watched it as a total film, and was like, fuck. They gave them a choice. You can stay and be a part of fixing this, or you can go. And they left. And then
Right.
what they do? They fixed the whole movie. And they just lied to people. Oh, it's a couple reshoots. Because they have to, because, people fucking freak out.
Right.
5 months later, we're done shooting. Wait, what? 5 months? That's an entire, it's not 20% reshoots. We shot the whole film. And everyone's like, I don't even want to see the movie. Well, you haven't seen a trailer yet. Show me the trailer that you saw that bored you. Well,
Right.
no one's seen it. And then when it comes out, sure, there's going to be those people who are like the vocal minority who are like, I want to see the unfiltered version. I would like to see. Oh, shut. This is. I hate to use the modern political times that we live in, right? But this is that whole. If I see one person agreeing with me online, that must mean everyone does. So I have friends that liked it. Great. Who cares? This country's always been like 51% this, 49% that. You're gonna fucking have some people that who liked it. It's irrelevant. The prequels are the best example of this in fandom because a lot of my friends, my little nephews, love that shit. But man, they don't spend money on it, Brandon. They just have a fucking opinion about it. Because where were they when the 3D re-release came out? You know? And where are all those fans this weekend spending the $300 they're going to have to spend a pop to fucking get that movie up the notch, It's not on us to fucking, declare things great or not great. It's on them to make them great. That's the responsibility they hold. They gave it a shot and it didn't work out. But the only way they learn, man, is with dollars. So, I can ignore opening weekend, and when I go see it, it'll be on cheap dollar day this Tuesday, $5 a pop. You know. Oh well. Because man, if that was a fucking awesome good time at the theater, I'd be. You think I would have already seen it twice?
All right. Be right back. Just gotta grab something. All right, I'm back.
Yep.
So. Well, at least you'll go see it.
It's like this, man. If George Lucas had wrote and directed The Force Awakens, I would not have seen it. I'm done with his nonsense, you know?
Right.
I didn't go see that Clone Wars thing when it went to the theaters. Remember when that came out? It was released in
Right.
theaters initially. You know, people are like, it's gonna be a huge hit. You know, it's gonna be voted best animated film of the nothing. No one did. No one saw that in the theaters. You know, but I like the cartoon. Great, they because you weren't paying fucking $100 a pop to go see it every fucking time you went out. They just delivered it to your fucking TV. Less standards.
Right.
It's like whatever. Like as much as people are like, I love that show. I'm like, good for you. You want to know something? All the Clone Wars T-shirts I ever made, they only sell them boys, and they would always get beat by a stormtrooper on a skateboard. When they wouldn't let us sell the stormtrooper on the skateboard, then you give them a Clone Wars shirt and try to find some verbiage you can put on there. Like you know, I'm the chosen one to not do my homework or some stupid shit like that. you know,
Yeah.
the Force is strong with this one. you know. I tried to make an Ahsoka shirt once for boys. Oof, Walmart was not happy.
They're like, no.
Yeah, you think you're being funny with that,
Hmm.
but that's actually a lot what it's like. Yeah, like they talk shit, dude. like, they come from the meeting and they just fucking rail against just having to look at something. You know, you know, boys won't buy this. No, 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 no. This is, just all this shit. You're just like, if I only gave you what you wanted, what do you need us for? Here's the fucking art. You know, you make the shirts, dicks. Like they were able to foresee what would be a winner every fucking time. Just put Yoda on there. Moms don't like their kids wearing shirts that say "I am Sith." It means you're like the Satan or something. Shit like that, dude. You know.
Right. I am the Sith. Nope. Not for you, son.
You don't want to be told. Don't bring up oh they're the bad guy. They get schools won't let them wear it. Just sell the logo, and then you yelled out, "There's only logo shirts. What are we buying this license for?" Like it's just every fucking other month. They create a fucking this weird box to put you in. You do your best to navigate it, and you get shit on for having. Well, you should have told us. I should tell you what? It's your fucking company.
Yeah.
I should tell you what. I have no doubt. Whedon probably told him we need another year. You know?
Right.
Well, we're not gonna get it. We really got to keep this spot. Okay. How much are you paying me? You got it. Just don't want my name on it. No problem. You know?
How much did he get paid?
Who knows? They never disclose that.
It's probably a lot.
Oh, well.
Let's see. Hmm. Well, that'll be another Wonder Woman movie.
Well, that's what I told you. They're kind of up the shit creek, you know? Like, how do you reboot in a time? I mean, if they wanted to reboot, how do they? They can't, you know. They can. Oh, they can cancel it. But they just paid, Pat Jenkins all that money, so I doubt it. If they
I
do reboot it
guess.
anyways, you just keep Wonder Woman and be like, we'll just figure it out.
I guess Flashpoint, and then just keep Wonder
No,
Woman.
no, 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 no. There's no counting. Don't. No. If it's not, if it's not behind, if it's not being filmed as we speak, with sets and cameras,
Hmm.
don't. No Flashpoint, no Shazam. Don't even. I don't care what's been casted. Don't give a shit. So they could just reboot it and be like the first Wonder Woman movie counts and nothing else does. But the problem is they also got the Aquaman in production. So
Yeah.
based on that criteria, you know, they might be in a Star Trek situation where they just need someone to right the ship and get them a new Batman, and spend less money on these movies. But I don't know. That's 13 months away, Aquaman. You know, in between now and
Yeah.
then, you're gonna get Deadpool 2, new X-Men movie, which I don't know how the fuck that worked out. The New Mutants, you know, Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War,
Yeah.
and then Aquaman. You know, uh huh. Yeah, no one's gonna give a shit. I think Han Solo will be out before that, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, unless they
Probably.
move that, but I don't think they're moving it. So gonna get probably another season of Stranger Things. And even for those people who are like, man, that was a great film. All right, when's the next one? A year from now. And everyone's like, they're making too many films. I'm like, well, you know, Campy was saying, you Marvel fans shouldn't be taking a shit on it because, this is going to affect your movies too. No, it isn't. Well, Kevin Feige even said, he's just saying that shit. That doesn't affect Marvel one fucking bit.
Right.
You know? Watch Black Panther open up to fucking 96 million, And then watch Avengers Infinity War fucking do like $7 gazillion, It's not going to affect them one. People aren't dumb, dude. They know the difference. Well, my mom doesn't. Ah, shut up. They're going to know when something gets good buzz. I just never heard one person clap at a Justice League trailer. Or laugh or anything. Every time I went to the theater, Thor would come up, people would laugh or say some shit. But those Justice League trailers come up, and my wife, they'd get done, and my wife always looks at me for like, and I go, we'll see. We'll see. For all I know, that Crow movie could be out with Jason Momoa before Aquaman. Yeah, that Bumblebee movie is going to be out before that.
A solo Transformer Bumblebee?
Incredibles 2 is going to be out. Yeah, but the Bumblebee movie's being directed by the guy who did Kubo and the Two Strings, bro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we need to give this one a benefit. And it's set in the 80s. Which is when Transformers should be set. So we'll see. It could suck, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Unless Michael Bay was directing it, then, you know.
I hate when you talk reality. I want to live in La La Land.
I don't like being delusional. I like to have rational thoughts, I can disagree, but let's talk about it rationally here. Critics hate DC movies, which is why they gave it a 92% tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, right? Right? Wonder Woman? Hmm? 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 That's why The Dark Knight fucking is rated the greatest fucking... Okay, sure. Yeah. See, the thing that's the common denominator is Zack Snyder. You know? Seems to be the common denominator between all the things that are Man of Steel, BVS, even Suicide Squad, he produced it. It maintained that same look. The only one they had like the minimalist amount of fucking influence on was Wonder Woman. So, I mean, look, if it were me, I'd keep the universe because the cast is great.
Mm-hmm.
I would immediately put Flashpoint into production and reboot the entire fucking universe and make it so Wonder Woman went to World War II and all. You know what I mean? The events of BVS never happened. Like, you need to change shit, you know?
Right.
So movies don't contradict one another. And then if you need to recast Batman, you do it there. I would spend the money now to invest in the longevity of the product, you know? And you gotta appoint Jeff Johns fucking in charge of shit. You know, you need a real story department to come in with him and sit down and be like, let's treat this shit. You know, Hollywood is cooperative. You know, invite Kathleen Kennedy and Kevin Feige down to fucking give you, you know, what would you do? That they, you know, Kevin, they, you know, everyone wants a healthy ecosystem, despite what people think, you know. So it's just like, that's what I would immediately do. But I don't get to run shit, folks. You know? I'm not in charge. I don't care. I gave a shit a long time ago about the prequels, you know? And I was like, why do I care so much when I can just go watch these Lord of the Rings movies and enjoy myself, you know? So when the Lord of the Rings went and fucked it up with The Hobbit, I was like, well, you know, who cares? I got Game of Thrones, you know? One goes down, we go to the next thing, you know? Like, I got other shit to watch, man. You know, hopefully they don't fuck up One Punch Man, you know? So it's like, I want these things to be good, but I'm not going to sit here and fucking cry about it if the shit ain't working right. That's on them. And they're not getting my money so I can prove I'm some fan or some shit. You know? When it became apparent to me that the Wii did not do what they were saying it could do, you know, I stopped buying Wii games. It was right after Mario Galaxy. I played it. I'm like, this fucking system sucks. I hate fucking waggling my goddamn controller, man.
Yeah.
I hate it. You know? It wasn't until I played, you know, things like the Vive and shit where I'm like, okay, those motion controllers were great in VR. But just waggling my fucking controller, you know, like I'm jerking off and shit, like I'm fucking Bob Ross. You know what I mean? Like I'm Wade Ross. Clean that brush, just whack it off here. You know, it's not my fucking thing, man. And so I didn't buy Mario Galaxy 2. I didn't buy fucking Skyward Sword. I don't spend the money until they give me a fucking system. And I was like, I even made a stance. I'm not buying another Nintendo system if it will not come with the standard controller. You know, if the Switch didn't come with the standard controller option with the system, you know,
Right.
then I would not have bought one. I don't care how much I love Nintendo. You know, I draw the line at certain shit. And you got to figure out for you, you know, like what's the line? Like, what if I just start producing bullshit? You know, I just go full like My Little Pony drawings all the fucking time. You know, and everything's a My Little Pony. I don't know, something really off character for me. And you're like, what's Rob doing? You know, or I just spend the. How about this? What if I just spend the next? I just start redrawing covers. You know,
Yeah.
after Jim Lee, after I become that guy who's just redrawing shit. You know, do I expect you to buy it because, well, you know, I put a lot of effort into it, and people don't really want to see my take. They just want to see the things they love. So. Or what if I, you know, start cranking shit out and everything looks like dog fuck? I mean, that happened to me. You know, when we did the second power prints, and I had to do a bunch of those fucking prints, you know, and I'm like tearing through these Copic commissions, and Josh was like, "We gotta get them out, man. Gotta get them out." Like, you know, the fucking sword, dude. You know, the Link sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's me listening to, you know, the wrong fucking advice. You know, it doesn't really matter because they already bought the stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but it's gonna fucking matter. You know, the bigger you are, the longer you can wait it out. The smaller you are, the quicker the fucking shitstorm. And I started to I get random people on the internet telling me, this looks like you rushed it. I'm like, no shit, motherfucker. But, you know. What's up, Josh? Imagine if they had been like, guys, here's the deal. We're doing a fucking Justice League online press conference, right? We're assembling the fucking league. We're going to do a press conference. And they're like, here's the bad news, man. Movie ain't coming out till next fall. All right? Here's the good news. Right after the conference, we're going to end this with the fucking 10-minute Justice League fucking bit. You know, they take something out, they film some extra shit, you know?
Yeah.
And like, just started to we're committed to making the best fucking product. We hear you, you know, we're going to make the best product, but here's this right here. Here's this, you know? On this date, we're going to do Assemble the League Day. No, 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 you know? Get all the fans to come out. All the girls, put on your fucking, grab your lassos, you know? Put on the armor.
Did you make the last one with the quill?
Mm-hmm. And the Wolverine. And the Obi-Wan.
Well, I look forward to it coming out on DVD, Blu-ray, and seeing some of the extra stuff.
If
Or
they
whatever.
do. Who knows, man?
Yeah. You watch The Punisher?
Nope. It's my wife's birthday this weekend, man. I can't ask her to sit down and watch a fucking murder series, dude. On her birthday, you know? So I'll watch it this week.
My wife's a little bit opposite. She was like, "Hey, you want to watch an episode of The Punisher?" I was like, I think she liked it more than I did. We just watched the first episode. We haven't gone through it all. Financially wise, would it be wiser to reboot and such, or do you think stay the course that they're at? Like, do you think that makes a difference?
Huh?
So you're saying reboot, but I'm like, money wise, would that be more money, or you think that would make them more money, or that might?
It's not about the money, man. All right? It's about, you gotta look at, you gotta think about the integrity of, I hate to use the word brand, but the shit that they own, right? Like, if you start putting out Justice League 2 and like, oh, that last movie sucked, it has a negative effect across all merchandise, everything else that they do. I mean, like you can't put Jesse Eisenberg in another movie as Lex Luthor. Do you understand that, Brandon?
Yeah.
You can't do it. you know, it reminds me of like Star Trek. When Star Trek the motion picture came out, it was a giant clusterfuck. A lot of fans are like, "Oh, it's the most science fiction one of them all." Like, I get it, man. Robert Wise, I own the fucking special. I get it, but fact of the matter was, it was a big turd fest. So, they did as, they did. It wasn't a reboot, but the shift in leaner film, cost less. You know, completely new art direction with Star Trek 2, and that's kind of what they need to do. So I'm not saying like reboot the universe. They got to reboot. They got to undo the things people hated. First off, And when you say hated, like I like it, the overwhelming vast majority, you fucking shit fuckers, dude. I swear to God, dude. The only people that annoy me more than fucking the political fucking assholes are the diehard fucking comics dudes. Always has been that way, man. I could never go when I was a kid. I could never go to the comic shop and hear some guy go, "Wolverine would never do that." I'm like, unless the writer made him. You know, like
Right.
I mean, I hate to break it to you, Wolverine's not a real fucking dude, asshole. You know, so like, remember when Wolverine was a beast?
Yeah.
Remember that one? You
Hmm.
forget that one. Let's get started. Let's get into it. I'm saying that they have a winner with Wonder Woman, critically and commercially, and they got a lot of good faith. They got a whole new demographic that they're building off there. A bunch of girls are going to grow up with this, and you got another 40 years of fucking content. I remember when I was a girl, Wonder Woman inspired me. Like there's lots of good there. So if you fucking get rid of that, that's not a good idea, man. It's not going to go well. So, and they got Aquaman wrapping up production. Round one of filming. They're not going to throw that away. I don't see them doing that. So they might. It's possible. Not likely, but so what they need to do is do a soft reboot. And if they wanted to, I mean, look, you can do it with the Flash because you have a guy who can time travel and change shit. You don't have to do a whole lot of explaining. You can put it there. You know, if they don't want to do that, then all you have to do is just make a Wonder Woman movie that isn't tied to any of these real events that have occurred in these films. It's sort of loosely talked about in the way that Star Trek used to. Then you make another Superman movie that is completely tonally different. Gets a new costume, gets a new look, and then you let Matt Reeves make his Batman movie and let him fucking reboot it. And you just don't talk about it, and you just quietly reboot everything. You understand, Brandon?
Yeah.
You don't make any announcements. You just quietly shift things over. So it's sort of, look, if Wonder Woman didn't do well financially and critically, it'd be a whole other story, you know? But they could make the Aquaman movie and then just not do anything more with it. Same with the way they did the Green Lantern thing. Just walk away from that one. But I mean, what are we talking about here? 2 years? It's 2 years till the
Right.
next Wonder Woman movie, right? 2 years. So, uh, 2 years to the next Batman film, whatever that is. It's not happening next summer.
Right.
So it's minimum 2 years out for that minimum. It'd be a minimum 2 years out to everything. People can forget. It's plenty of time to go. Yeah, that Justice League movie wasn't so bad. You know, you drop the Harley Quinn shit, all that stuff immediately. I like her as Harley Quinn. It's got nothing to do with it. Unless you make another Suicide Squad film.
Right.
But 2 years out to that, I mean, episode 9 will be out by then. Think about that. Hmm. Hmm. I'll be on Game Cave 2 or 3 by then. Think about that.
Right.
It's hard for people to believe, but it'll happen. Um, What if, motherfucker?
Time will tell.
It's a tremendously wasted opportunity, what they just did here. That's it. Big, colossal waste of effort. You'll probably own a Nintendo Switch by the time all that. Think about that.
Hopefully. I mean, I will. I'll be playing my Pokemon game. Excuse me. Oh, man. Did Zack Snyder direct 300? I'm not direct, but did he write 300?
Did he write this? He co-wrote. But I mean, the script is it's the
The
comic. You
comic
know
book.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not.
Right.
You know, it's largely a visual film. There's not a ton of. You know. Uses color pencils. Just color pencils. I'm not doing Copics for a long while, Josh. Kind of like putting them on the back burner. Okay, you fucker. So the color pencil's a lot slower, but it's giving me the depth that I've been wanting for a while. So just kept adding more color pencil until I'm like, you know, done with this marker shit. So one of the biggest reasons for that too was when I was working on the Obi-Wan and the lightsaber actually came out the way I wanted a lightsaber to go. Try to do a lightsaber with the fucking marker. See how that works out for you. You know? It's actually what I used to do when I was younger. I just killed my hand once and spent years like I never want to do that again. You know,
Right.
it's because I used to press too hard. You know. So, and when you see them up close, there's like depth. You can see into it. You know, it's hard to describe. Alrighty, let's get these stupid little daggers drawn.
Josh says, it's cool to see how you evolve your stuff and keep making your work even better.
Oh, thanks, Josh. I think the trick is, you know, I'm just trying to find what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, what am I trying to get out of this? You know, selling my art to people is not, you know, strangely enough, is not the goal. You know, like I gotta take the commissions, keep the fucking thing burning. Like, no, I'm not. You know, I'm not. You know, it's not what woke me up in the morning to draw when I was a kid. You know, or every day in the army, or even through college. It's like, no, it's just, what am I trying to do? You know, and I like designs. You know, like that when I look at this, you know, it looks like I drew it, and like, oh, that'd be a cool toy, or I like designing it. And when it comes to the color, you know, like I like vibrancy, and it doesn't always mean more saturation and shit, you know. So, and I like it to look artistic. I like it to look like, you know, someone spent some time on it. It's hard with Photoshop or even the markers to get that feel that someone put some effort into it, you know?
Right.
Because people just go, oh, well, markers fucking, they do all the work, right? Well, no, not really, you know? Um, it didn't help that uh, over the past few years, the quality of Copics have gone down. And then they're like, you could try these other markers. I'm like, how about this? I can just fucking not do it, you know? Like, how many times, Brandon, have you been working and you're like, no, it just Robbie exploded. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. Now, how I color with color pencil is not for everybody, you know? And there are nights where I'm like, this is not for me. But um, I do want to be able to do large versions of stuff like this. And the color pencil and the watercolor will scale up. You know, Copics, it's going to take a lot of Copic. The amount of money you'd spend on Copics to do a large piece, you may as well paint, you know, with even oils. Like the amount of money you'd be spending on that. So they really weren't designed for that sort of thing. They're designed for just quickly concepting back in, you know, the day, back in the 80s. So, yeah. I think I'll involve in different areas, you know.
Right.
I don't think like it'll be like, and here's where I mix the color pencil and the watercolor. Like, no, I like this looking this way and that looking that way. You know, I think doing large versions would probably be the next big step forward, and then building my own books, you know, as well on top of all that. So, I will not be drawing actors off photos ever, though. Like, you know, whatever the future holds, I'm fucked when it comes to that because I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Oh.
Josh asks, I want to get into watercolors. Gonna ask the girlfriend to get me some for Christmas. Any specific brands you would recommend?
Just start with the Winsor Newton, you know, and be careful about like get a real limited set, you know. Find out. I'd get some primers on just what the basic colors are. Like, you know, you're gonna need like Alison Crimson Hue, a burnt sienna. There's a couple. You probably don't want to get more than 4 or 5 tubes of something. You could start with the Zorn method, which is a product of using 4 colors, but that really wasn't for watercolor. It wasn't intended that way. So I started small, you know, and understand that dilute them. Don't just start painting with watercolor out the tube. Learn how much water. That's why I use those the eyedroppers because I started figuring out okay, like 4 drops to this, you know. So I was able to like. But I mean, if you're gonna just use pans, you can use pans too, and just learn, you know, glazing, taking your time. Like this is gonna need this. It's gonna have to dry. Then when it dries, I can lightly glaze it this, and then it's a completely different way of working in terms of like wanting to see a result, right? Like, you know, I've heard people just get a fan and blow on it. Yeah, just pushing paint around when you do that. So you don't need 24 colors, but the Winsor Newtons will work for quite. You know, that'll get you. Those are what like $3 a tube. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
those will last a while, man. Especially if you do faint watercolors, because you dilute it, they last. And cool part about watercolors, when it dries, just leave those things in the pans or on your palette or whatever. So you just add water later. They never, you know what I mean? When they dry, they re-wet. So you're not like losing the paint, you know? Everyone assumes. Yeah, that's right. When you get better at art, you can make some stuff appear like it was easy for you to do. Yeah. Yeah, it's super easy, guys. You know, you just get some pencils, you just kind of move it around, you know. It kind of takes care of itself. Kind of draws itself. We got a Mega Potato fan in the chat room, Brandon.
I saw
Yeah.
Shadow Kid says Mega Potato.
I mean, Alex Ross uses the Winsor Newton, so, you know, you don't have to get the super expensive stuff, whole bean or anything. Yeah, I started with just Winsor Newton, and I got, you know, uh, there was a video I watched. This chick, I don't know, watercolor DVD. Type that one into Google. If you find one with an old woman painting giant, like rainbow-looking pineapples, that's the one I watched. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. Just she paints pineapples, and she was like spending months on just like a pineapple. And I was like, she's like, I just let it sit on the wall, and I looked at it for a couple weeks. I was like, a couple weeks, like New York City, you know. And if Brandon's talking, I can't hear him. So, but yeah.
Yep.
But she explained the difference between like what Thalos did, and that they're stainers, and so it put me on the right path. Now, normal watercolors will give you a nice earthy, subtle tone. I like, when I'm doing those characters, I like the brighter, poppier colors, which is why I use the Dr. P.H. Martins. But those aren't cheap, and I would not have started with those. So I spent a couple years just using regular Winsor Newtons and mixing my own colors to understand how all the stuff worked, you know,
Hmm.
before I practice with that. All you need is a number 2 and maybe a number 6 brush, possibly a liner. That's all you need. A number 2 round, a number 6 round to start, and a liner. And you can do most of your effort with the number 2, but if you want a bigger area, use the 6. Like I would start with the 6, let it dry, then go down to a 2. And that's just if you, depending on how much of that watercolor texture you want, you know. And once you start messing with it, you'll see, you'll go, oh, now I know why Rob said that. Like, it's not gonna make much sense now. You just gotta like be like, okay. And do the watercolors work well on the B marker? Oh no, 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 no! Don't put anything wet on this.
All right.
No, that cans and mixed media XL is pretty good for practicing to start. So you're not spending a ton of money on watercolor paper. Don't worry about the paper buckling. If it buckles and it annoys you, then just tape it down with painter tape. But get used to working on an uneven surface with watercolor, bro. It's not really about clean, even, rigid surfaces, you know? It's like when Bob Ross is painting those acrylic paints with, or whatever he uses, oils. When he's doing those paintings, um, the canvas moves, right? You can see it bouncing. You know, it's not stiff and rigid like paper on table. So,
Yeah.
but the cans and multimedia XL will work enough. I mean, that's what I paint all the sauces on anyhow. So. Super affordable. And then later, if you want more of that watercolor texture, you can always just buy some fucking Fabriano Artistico, whatever, fucking nonsense.
Just put some Febreze on it.
They love to say that Fabriano Artistico, artistic. Like, okay, shut up, dude. I could get it. Yeah, it's super artistic to say. Like, whatever.
Looks cool. Did you get that guy send you his address for the Wolverine?
Nope. So I'm shipping the. I was trying to ship that and the Star Wars together, but I'm tired of waiting, so I'm just gonna ship the fucking Star Wars, and whenever he sends me his address, and you can wait till after Thanksgiving. I don't know what happened to him, man. Weird part is I had asked him for a shipping address, and then he liked the initial post and then he never sent it. I'm like, dude, I need your fucking address, bro. Hope he's all right.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I gotta get my packing station set back up. It's gonna take like an hour. I'm not gonna sell it to someone else because the minute I fucking do,
Right.
could be 6 months from now. I'll sell it. Then he'll be like, "Hey, I never got my." Like, you don't see this fucking post?
I mean, Ashley did a commission for him. I don't know if she has any of his information.
Hey, how about this? He can respond to me. You know?
True that.
So hopefully he's all right. Just not on Facebook for the week, whatever. You know?
Daggers are cool.
Yeah, they'll look better once they're colored. But... having a slight issue with my... So yeah, for as long as it takes with this, I'm better off just doing the cleanup pass digitally and then tracing it with ink. So, because I could have drawn it in half the time if it was just with the multi-liners, but that's because I can draw it. It's a whole other thing. It's the way these things move. The nibs, they don't move well with that kind of making it up on the
Gotcha.
panel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So. Having fun?
No, I'm just thinking of what I got to do: lunch, shower, put the clothes in the dryer, then try to fall asleep. My nose is running, and there's no tissue paper, so I can't blow it. And I didn't want to say, "Hey, I'll be right back," because it looks like you're pretty much done.
No, I gotta shade this thing.
Oh, well, I'm probably gonna sign off, so I can go get my stuff done. And I'm tired of sniffling.
Getting sick again, huh?
No, it's just
And then went to the theater and he got sick.
nah. I'm good. Just the sniffles.
Okay, you went to the theater and you got sick.
Went to the movie and enjoyed the Justice League movie.
Yeah, and you got sick.
No. Tomorrow.
Yeah, they all. You know who else goes to the matinees? The sick kids.
Hate kids.
But their germs love you.
Right. They just latch on. All right. Well, I'm going to head out, sir. It's always fun.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I assume.
Possibly.
All right. Later, everybody. Night, Rob.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and go grab a cup of water. I'm a little thirsty. Give me a second. Alrighty, so this is ready for color. I got 2 more to draw. I'm gonna try to get through both of those tomorrow, so I can move on with the coloring. Get all that out this week. Thanks for hanging out. Da 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 da. Be back on later today. Talk later, everybody. Peace.